So when it comes to a bespoke suit, we have to take about 60 or 70 measurements of all different parts of the body. So apart from inside leg length and chest and waist and hips, there are other what we call configurations, like different things about the body that vary from one human being to another. So to do that, we actually have invented a set of instruments that allow us to be able to take things like the slope of your shoulder. So here, if I hold this little instrument up to Steve's shoulder, I can measure the amount of slope that he's got, and we can take that into account in making the pattern. So his shoulder is higher than regular. He's got what's called a half-high shoulder, so we need to take a note of that, because that will affect the amount of shoulder padding that we put into his suit. Having established that Steve's got a slightly square shoulder, it means that we need to reduce the amount of shoulder padding. So the next thing I'm going to do is measure how far Steve's head tilts forward. So for that, I've got this instrument, and I'm going to put this against Steve's shoulders, and I tilt the top of it to his neck, and I can see that his position is that his head is slightly forward. So I need to take that into account, because if his head is slightly forward, the length of the coat that he requires from the neck to the back is slightly longer than if Steve was in a very erect position. So we have to make that adjustment on the pattern. I'd just like you to slip your coat off, Steve. Then I'm going to measure the rise of his trousers. And to do that, I have this little instrument, which I put under here, and I can see where he would like the top of his trousers to finish. Is there about comfortable? Yeah. So I can read that the back rise of his trouser is 30 centimetres. And finally, I'm going to measure Steve's inside leg. And to do that, I have this instrument. So that is 80 centimetres. So with that final measurement, we can then actually create a bespoke pattern for Steve that we'll keep permanently on record, and that has all the detail that we've taken from the measurements, and then we can actually begin to cut his suit. That will actually then come back for a fitting. If when the fitting is done, there are minor adjustments to be made, we make those adjustments on the suit and on the pattern, so we always keep that bespoke pattern as a record of what that customer wants. And if they ever want another suit, then obviously we've got that starting point. We don't have to do that all over again. With all of that, we've created an individual suit for each of our clients.